We're recording. I didn't know you hit record. Look.
All right. How's it going?
Fantastic.
How was your week?
Oh, we're just gonna jump right into it, aren't we? My week. I'll just keep going. My week was good. My week is good. Yeah, it's good.
With the dogs.
Don't worry about it. They'll be quiet.
Oh
my
my
week
gosh.
was good. We spent Tuesday was my mom's birthday, and so we did a little thing and celebrated her and went and did whatever. She'll be quiet. It's all right. Just keep
I'm
on keeping
listening
on.
to you and your mom. Your mom.
We surprised her with cinnamon rolls, and then went throughout the day, normal day, and then took her to dinner at some Cajun place out in Edmond.
Oh, it wasn't the Cajun King?
No, she wanted to go to the Cajun King. She commented on that video, by
I
the
know,
way.
I saw that.
Yeah, it was either the Cajun King or Brent's seafood and fish place or whatever. Oyster bar. Seafood and oyster bar. I had chicken. Because I ate chicken. And then we surprised her with a night away at Airbnb. Anyway, a lot of fun. But yeah, it was a good week. It just threw me off because that was in the middle of the week. You know how when you do something and then you feel like every day is Monday again or whatever.
Like, what day is it?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's kind of how it was. How about your week? How was your week?
It was good. So it was really busy. We had a lot going on. And this week has been a week where I've just been able to just process some things. And by the way, today is day 21 of my life change, which means that it is now a habit, the way that we've eaten. I have not, in the last 21 days, had anything with added sugar. I have not had a potato, and I have not had a grain. I have had rice, like I had turmeric. Do you know there's an R? It's T-U-R-M.
So turmeric?
It's turmeric.
The R is silent, so it's turmeric.
It's ridiculous, but it's turmeric. So I had turmeric rice, and I noticed my blood sugar went up just a little bit, and that was like 2 weeks ago. But yesterday, I was telling you I went to Chipotle and thought I got the brown rice. But man, my blood sugar's been between 125 and 129. It should be below 100 every morning, and it's 125 to 129. This morning I woke up after having the rice yesterday. 150. Chipotle's dead to me.
But they're so good.
It's so good.
So good.
But I will not be having the rice again. So, but it's been a good week, and just trying to take care of that has been my number one priority. Is just my blood sugar, and you know it's working. The other day I took my blood sugar after not eating. So after you eat, 2 hours after you eat, your blood sugar should be below 140, and mine was 109. About fell out. I don't know that I've seen 109 in 3 years.
Oh, that's
like,
good. That's encouragement. Killing it.
So yeah, well, half killing it. It's the morning.
Yeah.
So
You're not eating like sugar in your sleep, are you?
maybe. You think Steven is like...
Yeah. He's got a funnel, and he just pours bags of sugar.
So he told me literally the other night, he said that he elbowed me somewhere, and I was like, you've got to be more careful. I do not remember this discussion.
It just comes out.
I do not remember this discussion. I don't remember being elbowed, nothing. But he's strong, so he literally could kill me if he rolled over a little too hard.
If he is more careful, I mean, then he wouldn't kill you in your sleep.
Right. That's why he got a lecture in the middle
of the night, and you don't even remember it. Yeah.
I'm just that good at giving lectures.
Yeah, it just comes out.
Just in the middle of the night.
It's just who you are. You get poked, and it's just what oozes out.
You poked my heart.
Yeah, one thing, like as far as the eating and all that stuff with me that I've realized this week is discipline. And like I used to cringe whenever it came, or whenever I think of discipline, or hey, I need to be more disciplined in this area or that area or whatever. But I'm learning that there's really just freedom there, you know. And so while sometimes it's hard to restrict ourselves in a certain area, like right now with food, for me, it's hard. I feel free because I'm like, no, I don't have to do this, or I don't have to not have, it's not that I can't have this thing. I'm choosing not to.
Yeah.
Which I'm more in control.
Yeah.
Whereas when I can have whatever I want all the time, and then I start becoming a slave to those foods or those habits, or even the clock, eating at dinner time, breakfast time, lunch time. It's noon, so I have to eat. But I'm choosing not to if I'm fasting or if I'm not having whatever foods. It feels good. And so I'm trying to, this week, as I've been just eating, going with it, because it's not fresh and new anymore. This is the time when I usually would quit.
Come on.
When I think about that, I'm like, I have to remind myself, this is what discipline is. And this is a choice that I've made. And I feel good about it. And I'm setting a great example for my kids. And I have to remind myself, I have to remind myself of all those things that really, that I want to do, but in the moment, I will just sacrifice it so fast because I want the thing. So I tried on accident, HelloFresh. Can we say that? Does it matter if
we're not advertising for them, so it doesn't
I don't know.
matter.
I mean, I didn't taste the food, so I don't know if it's even good or not. But anyway, so I got this promo code for 50% off of your first shipment, and I was like, bet I'll try it. So I went through it because I wanted to see how much the total was going to be. Well, it was like 30-something bucks for the 2 meals, but they literally send you every single thing.
Yeah, they do.
As well as
even the cooking oil.
Yes, everything.
Ridiculous.
So I did it, and then I authorized PayPal. It charged it, and whatever, we'll try it out. So anyway, yesterday was the first meal, and I just was not feeling well, so I just went and I laid down in the bed and I crashed. I fell asleep for 2 hours, but I woke up to the smell of this food. And that was probably the hardest time because, like, waking up to food, the smell of food is like heaven for me. I don't know. It probably reminds me of being a kid and my mom making breakfast in the morning and then you wake up, like Saturday morning or whatever. But it was this, like, pulled pork fiesta bowl or something like that. And so my daughter, Ariana, and my husband made it, and it was just like, I don't really know all the things that were in it. That was... I was choosing to not eat dinner. Like, I was fasting through dinner. So that was hard because it was something new. It was a new experience. And so I come stumbling out of my stupor for my 2-hour nap.
Yeah.
And I see this, and I had told them that I wasn't going to be eating. And so that was hard just to see that because I wanted to taste it. I wanted to try that new thing.
Yeah.
And so, because I had planned beforehand to not eat dinner, that was, anticipated resistance. Like, I knew that might be an issue depending on what was, how it was. So anyway, other than that, it's good. I'm still keeping on, still going with it. I've been exercising consistently. It feels good. Like, all these things, like, I'm just going for it. And yeah, that's it. I blogged about it, kind of thing, like the mind change.
You got a lot of hits on that blog. That was good stuff.
Thank
Straight
you.
from the what?
It was straight from the what, and it was written late at night. So that's how that was. But thank
Here's
you for
all my
that.
emotions and feelings right here.
But yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I'm proud that we're documenting our journey. Whatever the end of this is, or whether it's not, whether there is no end. You know what I mean? Like, that's the idea. But for ourselves, we put September on it. I'm just glad that we are vlogging, that we're blogging, that we are, talking with people and having, I don't know, just we're able to see it and document the journey, because any goal setting, anything that we're moving towards, you have to document the journey. You got to celebrate the wins.
That's right.
So the comments and the likes and the shares and all that stuff is helping us to celebrate.
Yeah, we need that. Yeah.
The outside opinion. It's great sometimes.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, we went to the fair on Wednesday night, and I've never been to a state fair before. Until last year, I went to the Oklahoma State Fair with my friend Paige, and we went straight for the food. I mean, that's the only reason we went, was for the food and just to walk around and see all the good stuff. And this year, and I love rides. I mean, oh my gosh, I love rides. I mean, like the Himalayan.
I hate
Come
them.
on.
I hate
Come
them.
on. Give me some Himalayan. I'll just circle that thing for like 12 hours. I'll just keep going.
I'll be grandma holding your purse on the bench, like.
Aw, let's go together. And so, anyway, so we went and we took Hunter and one of her friends, and it was Steven and I, and we did not. So last year, let me tell you about this fried cheesecake I had.
I don't know if you want to tell me.
It was real good.
Real good.
It was real good. And I kept seeing all the signs for the cheese curds and for just all the things. And what did I end up getting? Here's the deal, y'all. You know you want to get rid of diabetes when you go through the state fair and you get brisket.
I don't know, man. That sounds pretty good right now.
That's all we got. Oh, and it was disgusting.
It wasn't good?
The guy was even rude.
Could you
who
get a
served
turkey
us.
leg? I mean,
I don't know, but ended up getting brisket. But anyway, I mean, the options were funnel cake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Funnel cake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
And I walked right by it. Poor Steven, he was like, look at all this nachos. I mean, there's like 80 kinds of nachos. And he's like, I like that kind of nachos. And then 2 steps later, oh, look at that kind of nachos. I'm like, what is your fascination with the nachos? I'm like, do you not see the cheesecake and the sweets?
You want
They're
the
everywhere.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but that was a struggle. But, you know, I was telling my friend, you know, if you want drastic results, sometimes you just have to do drastic things. Mm-hmm. And I have got to get rid of this diabetes. I have got to. And the thing about it is that if I get rid of the diabetes, say October 15th rolls around and it's gone, I still have to watch my diet because it will come back. Mm-hmm. It's just like weight.
Yeah.
And so the way I'm eating now is probably the way I'm going to have to eat for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm glad that it's manageable, and I feel my palate is changing a little bit. I'm actually looking forward to later today making some pumpkin bread with coconut and almond flour.
Yeah. Hey. No, don't make that face.
I know, but before I would have died.
Yeah.
Before I would have died,
Yeah.
and now I'm like, I just want something pumpkin flavor. I'll eat anything if it's just got pumpkin flavor in it.
Pumpkin, it's the season. It's harvest.
Tis the season. If people could see my house right now.
It's so fall here. It's so harvest.
Come on.
You've got some amber colored things up there and some orangey stuff, but
Those are always there.
yeah, my house looks the same year round. Like Christmas comes and we have our treat, and that's it. Yeah.
My heart just lights up when you have like stuff in the house that just says the season and it smells the way that it looks. Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. And usually, kid you not, I have candy corn in a little pumpkin dish on my hutch here. And this year, I don't. I mean, it's like taking everything within my body not to put candy corn out here.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll mix it with peanuts. Peanuts and candy corn.
I've never had it.
It tastes like peanut brittle.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
It's so good. I'm sorry, everybody.
I don't even know. Like, nothing's really going on this week that I didn't think about. Nobody's shared anything really. I don't know. Nothing's really going on.
Well, so this might be relatable.
Let's hear it.
So apparently, when you're married to someone for 24 years, it leaves indelible marks. Like you begin to think a certain way. And so one of the things that Stephen and I processed this past week was that, you know, in my past marriage, I was always having to beg to get anything, like to go get a Christmas tree. It was like I would have to, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, say, hey, the day after Thanksgiving, we need to go get a Christmas tree. And then the day after Thanksgiving would roll around and it would be, now we're having discussions about, he's trying to talk me out of it. And I'm like, but we need a Christmas tree for the kids. And sometimes I would walk out of the conversation going, well, I guess I have to decorate the ficus tree this year because it just was it was such a battle just to do the smallest little things. So a few years ago, no, it was 4 years ago, we were in Oklahoma. So it was 4 years ago, I wanted a treadmill because I felt like I needed to work out, and I've always had success with the treadmill. Always. Whenever I've had success working out, it was on a treadmill. I found Jesus on a treadmill, for crying out loud. Seriously. And anyway, he kept telling me, no, you're not gonna use it. I'm not gonna buy it. Blah 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 blah. And it took a solid 9 months of me just begging for this treadmill. And finally, he gets me this treadmill. And by the time I got it, I was like, I don't want to use this thing. I mean, it was just like, but it was that victory of, I finally got it. Right. All these negotiations finally panned out. And so anyway, it was Monday or Tuesday, Stephen walked in, and he's trying to get the garage organized, and the treadmill is in the garage, unused. I've had it for 3 years. I've probably used it 10 times. I kid you not. Everything my ex-husband said would happen with that treadmill has happened, but I don't care because I got the dang treadmill.
Oh my gosh. You're such
So
a brat.
anyway, oh no, hold on. So he comes in, he's like, hey, so that treadmill? I was like, don't even talk to me about that treadmill. And he was like, he didn't realize he stepped into a bed of fire ants. I was like, I'm not getting rid of the treadmill. Treadmill's gonna stay. You will go before the treadmill goes. I mean, I was dead set on keeping this treadmill. And it was like, and something within me was like, hey, so your response didn't match the actual
Right, I'm
question.
trying to figure out what does he want with it. What does he want?
He just wanted to get rid of the treadmill.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no, over my dead body.
Right.
You're not getting rid of this treadmill. And I didn't know why I responded that way. I mean, because it didn't match.
Right.
The response
Right.
didn't match. That would be like, you know, if you were like, hey, can I borrow your sweater? I'm like, if you ever ask me for a sweater again. I mean, it was just crazy. So we went to our little counseling session that we do so that we can learn how to talk good to each other. And anyway, we talked about this, and my counselor was like, yes, you got the treadmill. And I'm like, what does this mean? And he's like, don't you realize you had to fight for everything, and you won one, and you finally got it. And so, and he's like, you need to keep that treadmill.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Steven's sitting there the whole time, so confused, because he's like, yes, she got the treadmill. He's like, wait, I don't want the treadmill. I want it out of the garage. He's so confused. He doesn't know where to go with it. So this is what I learned. So anytime our response doesn't match what was the actual reality of the situation is, it's time to attend to that.
Yeah.
There's something deeper going on there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, and that could be with your kids. I think it comes out the most with your kids. Your kids, and then your spouse, and then like with everybody else.
Yeah.
But later that night, I was able to, the night of the treadmill incident, not after we had gone to counseling, but later that night, we got in bed, and he just started saying, I was like, okay, let's talk about the treadmill for a second. And I was like, here's the deal. And I told him everything that I just told you guys about how I did beg and barter for, you know, whatever. And, I mean, just to even go to life group or something, it would be like, come on, you know, you want to go, come on, let's go. Everybody's waiting for us, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of times we'd end up just not going. It could be, that was even church sometimes. And so, so the struggle was like, it was a real struggle. And because he just didn't want to be inconvenienced in any way, shape, or form. And so, anyway, so I talked to Stephen about it, and I was like, okay, so the treadmill thing, here's the deal. This is why it was so important to me. It was like I fought tooth and nail for that thing. And I finally got it. And even though I may never, ever use it, I do not want to get rid of it. Just because it is like a symbolic thing to me that
It's a
says,
trophy. It's a trophy.
I got it. And that's why my therapist was so excited that he was like, you should just keep that treadmill for you know. And so anyway, we talked about that. And then it was like 2 minutes later, he was like, I am so excited to go get a Christmas tree. And I was like, what? And all of a sudden, I just started crying out of nowhere. And he's like, why are you crying? What did I say? What's going on? And then I had to explain to him what a fight it was to get a Christmas tree every year. And that was something I was trying to do for, not just for myself, but for our kids.
Yeah.
I mean, just, for all the things that I was having to fight so hard for something so small. So small. But that's how I function in relationship now. And so Stephen is willing to give me whatever it is I want. He activates just like that. And I don't know how to deal with all of that. And so I just sat there and just cried. I was just puddles. And and he just held me. It's like,
Yeah.
it's okay. I didn't know what to do. So anyway, I say all that to say, all of us have ways that we know how to relate to people. And they are so embedded in us, we can't recognize them.
Right.
They are in our subconscious. And it's not until something happens like that where you're like, okay, you just said you want to go get a Christmas tree and this makes me cry. That's not normal.
Yeah.
So now you've got to bring the subconscious to the conscious so that then you can deal with it. Because until you're able to do that, you can't go to those places and give them to God or do whatever it is you need to do with them.
Yeah.
You cannot heal until you bring those subconscious things to the conscious. So I hope that's helpful to somebody.
Well, it is. I'm sure it is. But for me, I'm thinking, of course, my immediate is changing my food patterns. So the subconscious things are, I got to eat this all gone, or else I'm never gonna have it again.
There will never be brownies on this planet ever again.
Yeah, or even like this batch of brownies. You know
I'm
what I mean?
with you.
Like when they're all gone, it's like, oh. So for me, they're like, that makes me think of the scarcity mentality. Eat it all up before it's gone. Growing up, we didn't have a ton of money. You know what I mean? So we didn't have treats all the time. So when we had them, hurry up, get them out of the house. But like that was my mindset without me thinking. My subconscious.
Yeah.
That was my action. So then I think about, and I've thought about this before, but even now talking about it in our house now, when we are fine. Like I could go buy whatever it is, but like for example, and it's so weak, but a box of Pop-Tarts will not last in our home more than a day. And granted, we have 5 people in our house, and so I don't even know how many. 8?
Are you talking about the little box or the big box?
The little box.
The little box.
We don't buy the big box.
The big box won't last in my house.
But yeah, that's the thing, because I won't share a package with anybody.
No,
you know what I mean?
those
For
are
one,
yours.
Those 2 are mine, and so I think about it like
2 come in a pack.
For sure, and then there's only 4, so usually the kids each have 1, and that's how we break it down like that. But it's just things like that, like reaching for food just because subconsciously. So, going on a diet or fasting or whatever for me is putting very, very firm boundaries on food and consumption to help me realize things that are coming out subconsciously or that I'm just doing subconsciously, like cleaning a plate, clean plate club, that kind of thing.
Happy plate.
Make a happy plate, or just, I don't even know. I mean, it's just so funny that being disciplined and doing all this stuff, how that does tie in. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
It ties in, and I'm just like,
yeah.
And so it's good. These are the things that I'm learning anyway this month. Those kind of things, and breaking and remapping. Creating those new neural pathways. Like I can in the future have 1 Pop-Tart. I can put the other one in a Ziploc baggie and leave it there. And guess what? I'm gonna have.
Does that?
I will do that because my desire to be healthy. And have, all things are permissible, but not all things are beneficial. And I know Pop-Tart's not beneficial, but if I want one in a moment
What's
or
your
whatever.
favorite Pop-Tart?
Strawberry, unfrosted. I know!
Are you psychotic?
Unfrosted strawberry.
You might as well be eating a Nutri-Grain
I love those
strawberry
things too. Oh.
Fig Newton thing.
Fig Newton and Nutri-Grain, I love them both. It might be the texture, unfrosted strawberry. And a very close number 2.
I like frosted strawberry.
The brown sugar cinnamon?
No. My number 1.
Don't even, I don't know if I have.
Chocolate with chocolate frosting.
I've
With
never
the
had
white
it.
sprinkles.
I've never had that.
What in the French
I've
toast?
never had that. If I'm gonna waste my time and my effort on a Pop-Tart, it's gonna be I'll do strawberry frosted because not everywhere has unfrosted, but it's got to be strawberry, or number 2 is brown sugar cinnamon. I can't
Frosted or not frosted?
frosted, the brown sugar cinnamon, but I can't fight with the s'mores or the cupcake flavor or the
unicorn. The peanut butter and jelly.
If I want to,
They're gonna have a liver and onions one come soon. I just know it.
I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. All right. So, how was your week? Oh no.
What are you grateful for?
I need to go to sleep. All right, what are you grateful for? You answer. Because clearly I'm off my rocker.
Let's see. There's really not a lot I'm not grateful for right now, and I know that sounds very ambiguous. I know.
Jesus.
You know
answer.
what? I'm gonna tell you what I'm grateful for. So I did this Bible plan on YouVersion Bible app with my life group, and the last 7 days, it was a 7-day plan, and I did it with them, and every day everyone chimed in, and it was like and I mean like long chimed in, and so we were able really just to glean from each other, and we all are on this path of mental health. And we've gotten to a place together where we want to think the way God wants us to think. So we're going on a journey together for the next 30 days. And I'm really excited about that. But I'm grateful for these people who are coming alongside of me. Because this past week with that situation with the Christmas tree and the treadmill and just all the things, that was a wake-up call for me. That my thinking is not where it should be. And so we're gonna do this together. So what are you grateful for?
That's good. I hadn't thought about this beforehand.
So just be grateful for everything.
Yeah, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Jesus.
Jesus,
No.
Noah,
Moses.
the Bible,
The Lord.
Sunday
the Lord.
school.
No, I will say I'm grateful for just the intimacy that we as Christ followers are able to have with Christ. You know, because this week has been crazy for me, just with, you know, just planning the thing for my mom, which is not a big deal, but it just interrupts your week. When you homeschool, when you're, you know, a personal shopper, and that's like every day, all this, so you have to like stop and pause your life to create this thing. So anyway, it's just crazy, and for me, it's so easy to just like not read my Bible and not pray or anything, and so just in those hectic times, when I haven't been reading the Bible as much as I should be or feel like I need to be, he's just right there. You know what I mean? And so there's just still this like, you know, in the Bible it talks about prayer without ceasing, but for me it's just like a continuous conversation. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm thankful for. That's what I'm grateful for this week, because it's just like there's some tension points, you know, because making cinnamon rolls and making a double layer German chocolate cake for my mom and decorating it and everything, and not just because I'm a this person. How does that frosting taste? How does this taste? Like all this stuff. Yeah, but just like, and being able to taste those things but not go downward in my mind. Having Christ right there encouraging me, and I believe that he was. You know, that's just a sweet thing that I'm very thankful for. And now that we come screeching into Friday like this, it's just like, what? So, I don't know. I'm grateful for intimacy with Christ.
Come on.
Yeah, sometimes it's light and sometimes it's not, but this week, like, he sustained me through decorating cake, of all things, so. Yeah.
It's the thing about intimacy is it's in the good times and it's in the bad. So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I don't want to be, you know, I've had seasons where I don't acknowledge him, I don't talk to him, I don't have this relationship going until something happens. You know what I mean? And I don't want to live like that ever again, you know.
Because he's not a genie in a bottle.
For sure. Not. So.
As anyway. Christina Aguilera would say.
Hey, we got a phone holder, though. You guys noticed our phone didn't fall.
Thank you,
Steven, for that. Steven.
You're the best.
Steven.
And I don't even know you. And I think you're the greatest.
Well, because he shares a name with your husband. But it's Stephen Thomas. And I put you on blast. But anyway, thank you. If we could show you the phone holder, we'd show you guys. But it's Joby.
We can't.
And it's pretty sturdy.
It's very sturdy. That was weird. Okay. And on that note, all right, guys. Whatever's going on this week, it's fine. It's going to be fine. It's all fine.
It's all fine.
Bye, guys.
Bye.